We are back. Knick'N30 is lit. Thank you for tuning in. Dutch Dynasty is lit. Knick'N30, we are here. You see what it is. You know where I'm from. From New York, baby. We don't talk about Brooklyn around here, though, man. We talking about that Mecca. We talking about that MSG. We talk about Nick all day, man. But first things first, you know what it is. It's your boy Dope the Phenom, a.k.a. Trippy OG. One of the co-hosts of Knick'N30. Got my mind Cav Easy in the back, holding down the ones and twos. But This is all about us right now. The way we gonna start off this whole segment, let's talk about these new jerseys we got, people. These jerseys are immaculate. These jerseys are phenomenal. Worldwide West, I want to give you credit where credit is due. You stated that we will be changing the foundation, the culture, and the image of this team, and you have done that. Other people may say, oh, these are AAU jerseys. Nah, man, nothing like it, nowhere near it. All I can say is, at first I had my faults with it, seeing the little emblem city that never sleeps, and then it had the whole blue, white, and going on with the transition of the jersey. So I was like, it's throwing me off. Then, you know how the media do. They threw up the whole RJ Barrett picture with the jersey on, Photoshop with the sleeve that was tied out with the red, the blue, and the white. Immaculate, bro. Immaculate. So I can definitely say those jerseys themselves definitely will get us to the next tier. Just with fans alone, marketing, buying, just bringing in that new face, showing that new culture, showing that new variety of things. Like, we're not just trying to be the same old Knicks squad you remember. You feel me? But everything is looking plush with that. Like, I don't care what nobody say, man. These jerseys are crazy, dog. These jerseys are crazy, man. Epically crazy. But besides all that, enough about the jerseys, man. I know what y'all came here for. It's November 1st. You already know. Draft day is 17 days away. And it's a lot of speculations going on with the Knicks right now, man. Like, before we even go into the 8th pick, the 27th pick, the 38th pick, let's go into these rumors we've been hearing about. Like, the newly founded rumor that just popped up, De'Aaron Fox sells his California crib for $1.7 million. Now the Sacramento Kings is looking into maybe possibly drafting Karis Lewis Jr. Yeah, Kara Lewis Jr. is the problem. But they thinking about drafting him with their pick. And if I'm not mistaken, I think they have the number 5 or number 6 pick this year. But in my case, I'm more so like, why would you do that? De'Aaron Fox, Karis Lewis. Let me rephrase that. Kara Lewis Jr. are like the same exact player. So, in my opinion, is De'Aaron Fox out of here? Are we going to do a trade where we could trade up now? Are we going to go ahead and be like, you know what? Give us De'Aaron Fox and we give you the 8th pick, probably another player or something? And y'all give us y'all pick with De'Aaron Fox alone? Who knows? Who knows? We never know. It might be lit. But at the end of the day, we never know. Then you got another rumor where there's a trade package that may be involved where we go get, instead of just getting Westbrook like everybody says, we go get Westbrook and James Harden. But when you do that, what do we have to give up on our end? Because I hear about we may have to give up RJ Barrett. We may have to give up Mitchell Robinson. We may have to give up 2-3 picks in the next 2-3 years. But with those speculations of that trade, I can honestly say that is the most stupidest thing the Knicks can do in their life. Why would we trade the whole youth and everything that we just tried to accomplish for these two people? Yes, they are great players. They are extraordinary players. Mr. Triple-Double, Mr. I drop 60 on you, shoot your lights out any given day. But do we really need them in the Mecca? We need 2 people versus sending a whole team? Because we seen what happened when, you already know, OKC did it for Paul George, and Clippers lost, 3-1? They came back and they got smoked. So we don't need that same energy over here at all. At all. I would love it, but that was mainly back in the day when it was a win-now situation. I like the fact that we're trying to rebuild and trying to keep it in the culture. So let's go ahead and just rebuild and keep it that way. Now, everybody knows the most typical rumor of all. Yo, let's go get, we know we need a point guard. So yeah, let's go get CP3. Great come up. You know his IQ is on point. He can easily train any guard we have to get him top notch, get him under the wing. He's a good facilitator, good role model, good leader. So that's a good plus on us. But Here's the catch. If we get CP3, do we get the return of Carmelo Anthony? And as much people say, yo, don't bank on him, that's somebody you need to pass on, I'm sorry. I will pass on DeMar DeRozan for Carmelo Anthony. I will pass on, let's see, who else they got? Even if we try to go get Kevin Love, dub, I don't want him. Who else they got going up? Paul George, dub, I don't want you either, bro. I don't want you. Bring back Melo. But I don't want to get too intense. We love you, Melo. We love you. But besides the regular rumors with these NBA players, we got two selective rumors that's killing my brain right now. The fact that, number one, why are we even not considering trying to draft Cole Anthony? Hey, Knicks, y'all got a beef with Greg Anthony or something? Y'all got a beef with his dad? Wow. Y'all gonna take his production over college like the man didn't get hurt, like he didn't have to carry that UNC team all the way? Like he wasn't doing all the work by himself with a trash team? Come on, man. My son was trying to be Kyrie on a better note. Like, stop playing. Yeah, Kyrie. I'm sorry. I'm coming at you, bro. You ain't shit. You trash, bro. Kyrie, you trash, bro. You trash. I don't care if you got KD over there. You trash, bro. At the end of the day, that's besides the point. Why would we not go get Cole Anthony? My man is, let me go to my notes to make sure I'm saying this right, man. He dropped 18.5 points a game, 5.7 rebounds, 4 assists, and my man is only like 6'2", 6'3", and he was on a bum team. So we let the injury, let it stock fall, and we gonna let that fall, period? Sad. A lot of people try to say, oh, he needs to be in control of the ball. He's a ball. Come on, man. We talking about Cole Anthony here. We talking about Greg Anthony as his dad. You really think he gonna get into the NBA and not shape up to do better? Y'all need to really think about things y'all need to do. For real, y'all really need to think on some really need to think, man. But besides that, the last rumor that I have for today before I start getting into these picks, LaMelo Ball, the topic of everybody's discussion. Why are you sitting there flaking in your workouts? You have a whole bunch of teams. You're supposed to be a top 5 pick. Shit, you might be number 1. Why are you not doing good in your workouts? Are you trying to go into the role of your dad? You want to go to either Detroit or New York? Do you want to follow your own dream and actually go to New York from what we've seen through your NBA 2K series on any platform that you posted? The fact that you got mad when you saw that the Knicks didn't get the number 1 pick. The fact that you actually had a meeting with the Knicks already way before workouts even happened. So what do you really want to do, LaMelo? I mean, the ball is in your court, but you know how it is. NBA is a business. So it really don't matter where you go. I just hope you perform for real. Like, that's it. Just perform and show out. Don't be a bust. Hold it down and do your thing. But if you come to New York, shit, I love you already, baby. If you don't come to New York, I'm sorry. You ain't on my team. I gotta hate you. That's just how I roll, bro. It's New York all day, every day. But I definitely would love LaMelo Ball over here. I definitely would. Like, that man's a beast. You scored 94 points in high school. You had the craziest growth spurt I've ever heard in my life. You were 5'10". Now you're like 6'7", 6'8". Then on top of that, you're averaging 19.6 points overseas, 7.9 assists with 8.6 rebounds as a guard? That makes, and you got injured. You didn't even play that whole season, if I'm not mistaken. That's crazy, man. That is crazy. But like I said, shout outs to you, yo. Like, you really doing your thing, man, for real. Like, you really doing your thing. You came up. And right now, it's looking out of you and Anthony Edwards as the top dogs. Like, you know, they got James Wiseman up there on the card and on the board. But if no team on the top 3 is really looking for a center or a nice power forward to come in, stretch 4 type shit, I don't really think anybody's going to take James Wiseman that's in the top 5. He'd probably go number 6, the lowest. But that's besides the point. In other news, no more rumors. Let's get down to the nitty-gritty. As y'all all know, we have the 8th pick in the draft. Boo. We always get the worst picks in the draft. You know we're supposed to tank. You want to start winning games at the end of the season. Mike Miller, I love you to death. Sorry we couldn't bring you back. But you were supposed to lose those games, man. So I'm going to blame this on you. You did your thing, though, when we needed to win the games. But when we already knew we lost the season, you should have lost them games, man. You kind of messed us up with that. But that's besides the point. With the 8th pick, there's a lot of choices that I see that we want. We have the choice between, like, draft picks that we're looking at, which is Killian Haynes. Everybody knows Killian Haynes. Devin Vassell. Like I said before, Karis Lewis Jr. Tyrese Halliburton. Tyrese Maxey. Again, like I stated before, Cole Anthony, which I don't understand why you wouldn't bring him up, but I'm going to bring him up anyway because he needs to be in this conversation. But out of all the people that are named, honestly, it's only between 2 to 3 that I actually see that we really might get, all depending if we do not trade up in this draft. Now, before I break down who I think we should pick with the 8th pick, I'm going to get into if we were to consider trading up in the draft, I think we would either trade with the Warriors at the number 2 pick, or we're going to trade with the Bulls at the number 4 pick. We're going to go ahead and get Zach LaVine in the number 4 pick, and we're going to give him our 8th pick, probably some players, whatever we need to give them for that package to get done. Another trade I see, which ends up giving us a high pick plus another pick plus still our 27th pick and our 38th pick. We trade down in the draft, and I say we trade with the Boston Celtics. We get their 14th pick, and maybe we use it to get maybe a Tyrese Maxey, maybe a nice 3-and-D guy before going all the way to the 27th pick to try to catch one of them before they get taken off the board. But who really knows? Who really knows? There's a lot of options we could go about. There's a lot of ways we could move, man. It's Knicks City. We got so much cap space. We got so much picks. Like, I think we got picks for like the next 4 to 7 years, if I'm not mistaken. First round picks at that, which is a beautiful thing. But other than that, the 3 main players I feel like we should consider taking at the 8th pick is, of course, Killian Haynes if he's on the board, which I don't think he will be. I think he will be taken at least by the 6th pick, at least. As you do know, he's an overseas player. He played overseas just like Frank Ntilikina, KP, Luka Doncic. He's actually averaging 12.8 points a game, 6.2 assists, 1.5 steals with a 39% clip from 3. It's not too bad, not too shabby. Looking like one of the best point guards in this draft, second behind LaMelo Ball from what all the scouts and reporters are saying. So, at the end of the day, I understand he's from overseas. I get it. But in my opinion, I give him the 3rd pick because if that's the case, we got Frank Ntilikina. He does the same thing. And on top of that, he's just a better defender. If he does all of those attributes besides really getting in his scoring bag, which he's working on, there's really no need for him right there at the point guard if we already have a facilitator. You get what I'm saying? So that's where I kind of say, I don't really know if I need him. Now, my second choice would be Tyrese Halliburton from Ohio State. 6'5" guard, 175 pounds, averaged 15.2 points a game, 5.9 rebounds, 6.5 assists. Now, this man looks like the only ultimate caliber, full-fledged, ready-to-go, NBA-ready point guard. He kind of reminds me of a young Chris Paul in the making, low-key. This man his basketball IQ is ridiculous, man. Like, ridiculous. Ridiculous. I understand he has the weird, awkward shooting form. I understand that. Eli, what's up, man? Thank you for tuning in. You already know. But I know he got the weird shooting form, but that's nothing that can't be fixed, you know? That's nothing that can't be fixed. That's nothing that you really got to worry about.
GMB!
You feel me?
Elijah, what up, nigga?
But at the end of the day, it's more so, like I said, that man is a problem. Like, we need a point guard that can facilitate and work the offense. We need a guard that has a good IQ to give off those lobs to Mitch, to get RJ in the passing lanes. You get what I'm saying? To sit there and knock out and hit the open shooters when they got it. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know why nobody really wants this man. I don't know. You know how the fans are. Everybody's on the hype beast wave when they're not thinking on a realistic wave. You know what I'm saying? But my only other choice besides them, of course, I'm going to always say Cole Anthony. But realistically here, being the Knicks, and if I were the GM, I personally think they're going to end up getting Kara Lewis Jr. Fastest guard in the draft. Looking like De'Aaron Fox, looking like a young John Wall. My man is a legitimately scoring threat. He can give it to you this way, give it to you that way. Take you to the paint, shoot your lights out. My man's passing game is OD. The only problem he has is he tries to force passes here and there when he doesn't have a shot. You know, the little typical minor things that can get fixed. But overall potential, his comparison is like Ja Morant. Why would you not want another version of Ja Morant? You see what that man did last year. Rookie of the year. What? He almost made it to the playoffs. Like, come on. And that's going through the bubble, shutting down, having to refix yourself back up, get your team back right. It's retarded, man. But this boy, Kara, man, he's something different. Because at first he wasn't making no noise. Then he just started making a splash out of nowhere. I'm looking at the tapes. I'm like, yo, he look like another John Wall. Then I start looking at shooting for him. I'm like, nah, he kind of remind me of De'Aaron Fox. Like, De'Aaron Fox could actually shoot. So it's kind of crazy. It's really kind of crazy. It's really like that. It's really like that. Like, this 8th pick might be that crazy. Like, a lot of people are saying, yo, what are you going to do with the 8th pick? Just take the best talent available? No. There's so many ways we can move with this pick. It's not even funny, for real, man. It's not even funny. I just really hope that the Knicks executives, the scouting team, the front office, even RJ Barrett. RJ, you get somewhat say so if the team is sitting here saying we're trying to find the legitimate person to fit around you. Obviously, they know you and Mitch well. Now they're trying to figure out who fits around you. So, speak your case. Talk. Let them people know. Look at these reports. Figure out who's coming to your team. Figure out how you can make this team better. The ball is in your court, Mr. Duke, Mr. Steve Nash godson. And on top of that, this year, you're going to have to bust Steve Nash team, you know? Because it's the Phoenix Nets. It's not the Brooklyn Nets. It's the Phoenix Nets. Because, you know, the GM, he used to be on the Phoenix. You got Steve Nash, and you got Amari Stoudemire over there. And then now, you even got, drumroll, now you got Mike D'Antoni over there with him. It's the Phoenix Nets, man. So you know they running run and gun, get it going, shoot it, 15 seconds or less movement. Let's see how they can really keep up with that on the East, man. The East don't rock like that. It's defense all day, baby. All that shooting stuff, go to the West with that, man. We know the vibes. But, like I said, that was the 8th pick, y'all. That's one looking like a crazy thing. November 18th, you got to get in tune. Now, the 27th pick we got, yeah, you got to pay attention to all picks because this is how you build the team. This is how you build the foundation. This is how you get what you need to get before you have to worry about free agency and worry about all these bad contracts that come up. Now, my top pick for this 27th pick to get, if he is on this board, you go get him. Desmond Bane. If you don't go get this sniper rifle shooting 44.2% from 3, what? My man looks like a whole Hulk outside. My man built like Amari Stoudemire in his prime. You feel me? What? It just don't make sense to me how he's not even in the top 15 right now. But if he falls at 27, I am going to get that man. That is the definition of pure 3-and-D type player. That's what we need. We need more of those. Now, here's another thing we can do. Now, what if in the 8th pick, like I said, we go the Devin Vassell route like everybody else seen? Good Florida good Florida forward, you know what I'm saying? Coming out of there, he's doing his thing. He's a nice setup. Defense is crazy. He can shoot the lights out from 3. But what if we go that route? We take the forward. So with the 27th pick, what happens if we go with Trey Jones from Duke? He was playing with RJ, Zion, and if I'm not mistaken, he was playing with Cam Reddish on the same team last year. He just didn't get drafted last year. He didn't go into the draft. Now, being that he's a point guard, he's defensive all day, but he actually has a good overall passing game. He has a good overall scoring game. Maybe that might be the point guard of the future that we need. Because then you can pair him up. He already knows how to work with RJ. Now RJ, automatically RJ sliding to the 3. So now you got a combination of Mitch, RJ, Trey Jones, and then whoever the 8th pick may be. Now look, like I said, we could trade that number 2 pick. That number 8 pick and go get the number 2 pick. Now what happens if we get the number 2 pick? We end up getting LaMelo Ball, Anthony Edwards. Now you pairing Trey Jones with one of them as the 2 and then RJ at the 3? That is ridiculous. Oh my goodness. Or we could take it this route with the 27th pick. We want to get a stretch 4, but we don't want to go pay for him in free agency. So we feel like somewhere in the draft, we can mold that stretch 4 and have him for a long period of time on a long-term thing. So that way he's molded into what the Knicks want him to be. Now, for the stretch 4, I have 2 possibilities. I have Jalen Smith and I have Jaden McDaniels. That used to be a top 5 prospect. Mr. 3-level scorer himself. Mr. I got compared to Kevin Durant. What? Why would you not go get a stretch 4 like that, man? He can shoot it on all levels. Score at any given moment. And then on top of that, with him being able to shoot that out shot, that mid-range shot, something that my boy Julius Randle's having a hard time doing. Yeah, and if you do that spin move one more time, bro, we're going to ban you from MSG. Stop doing that spin move, Julius. I don't care if all the Kentucky people's over there. We will let you and Kevin Knox go. I don't care. Because this will not be a New York Knicks Kentucky team. I'm not having that. We're not doing this. Okay, yeah, I know we said we could probably go get Tyrese Maxey, but that's the only Kentucky person I'm considering, okay? That's it. That is it. Finito. But, like I said, Jamal Smith, Jaden McDaniels. You can also use them and get a stretch 4 pick out of that. But then when you get to the 38th pick, who knows? What if one of them is not even selected? Now you were able to get all of them, but that's just a hypothetical thing. Everybody knows the 38th pick is going to either be the most steal of the draft or it's going to be a nice, who knows? Might be a good G League person that goes in, trains up, comes up. But we can't really tell because look at Mitch. We got him in the second round. We didn't know he was going to be at least how he was. So it's pretty, how should I put it? It's looking pretty epic. You feel me? These picks, these players, they saying it's a weak draft class, but it's really not. It's just all depending on what you can get that's available that fits your team needs and how can you go about making the situation work if certain players that you really did want or needed aren't available. And that's where these GMs all in the whole of the NBA need to start thinking now. But that's mainly the topics for the 8th, the 27th, and the 36th or 37th pick. I believe we have the 36th pick, though. I'll never go in that depth. But other than that, it's ridiculous. Like, it's so many options that we could have. It's so many movements we could go with it. It's which way do we go? Do we go this way? Do we go that way? Do we go up? Do we go down? Do we trade for a pick? Do we trade down for a pick? Or do we go to a team and trade for that player and then say, forget a pick? Do we just toss our 8th pick to go get a certain player that we want? It's so many options we could go with. And then we could transfer and we could drift into free agency. Like now, after we handle all that and we figure out who we get, now who do we sign? We have the options between, which is my favorite, and if you really want to get a stretch for in free agency, that fits the young core, fits the bill of the Knicks, and will also be a long-term piece. First person I'm going to look at is Christian Wood from the Detroit Pistons. Like, he's only 24 years old. This boy was killing. We all seen him. He was dogging. But it's just like, why would you not go that route? Of course, you could bring back the Gallinaris and the Carmelo Anthonys, but that all comes with a price. No CP3, no Melo. Gallinari feel like you're not a championship contending team and that's what he wants to play on. We not tossing him in the bag. He may not come. You get what I'm saying? But then there's also other backups that I like that we could probably sign. Like, we do need more help at the center position. Taj Gibson, I love you to death, but that's not your spot. So it's like, if we really want to go get a good feel, we got Mitch. Why not just toss him a vet minimum? Let's go bring Tyson Chandler back. Let's go ahead. He didn't get no burn in that playoffs with the Rockets, which he should have. That probably would have changed things. But he can also mold Mitchell Robinson on a better defensive tip so that way he can start staying in the game more and stay out of foul trouble. Get him to get in the gym, get that muscle, put that weight on. You know what I'm saying? But also, it may sound crazy, but I'm also thinking possibly Derek Favors. I don't see why not. Not only can he play the 4 or the 5, he could also be a stretch as well. Good defense, good creative mind. Also was always a great role player no matter what team he was on, even if he's still on the same team. I don't know if he got traded, but I feel like Derek Favors been on the Utah Jazz his whole career. But who knows? You get what I'm saying? And then it's just like it's just like we could also now what happens if we don't find a point guard at all? Do we try to go get the Dragon from Miami? Do we go get Gordon Dragic? Now, if anybody is saying that Gordon Dragic is not the way to go, then I don't know what to tell you. Like, you're wilding. Gordon Dragic is always nice, and he definitely proved and elevated his game this year. But as I stated before, we don't know. And then the main free agent point guard that everybody's been talking about that I don't think we need to toss a bag to, but we do need to pay that man if we do go get him, is Fred VanVleet. Because not only has he proved himself, not only did Kawhi leave and then Pascal was supposed to be the top dog, my man Fred VanVleet was the reason why why the Raptors was even in close contention with a lot. He was holding it down for them. And on top of that, he's a great point guard, great defender, and can shoot. He can shoot. He can shoot. So why would you not go get him? And then the only free agent that's not a free agent that I would say is crazy, and this is just a possibility, just say if we got LaMelo Ball, you really don't think the Knicks would go try to make a trade and go get his brother, Lonzo, and then make them the backcourt of the Knicks and pair him with RJ? Now that would be bonkers. That would be epic. You feel me? That would be super epic. But, nobody's built for these types of talks. Nobody's built for these theories. Nobody's built for these ideals and these traits of greatness and what may be or what could be. Everybody just wants to stay in a box. But I don't think Leon Rose, Wild West, Scott Perry, I don't think anybody's going to do that this time. I think Tom Thibodeau, Mike Woodson, nobody's going to do that this time. It's straight win and let's do this. But then we got to talk about the actual trade targets. Like, they're not free agents. We talking about trade targets that's been going around forever. And it's kind of blowing mine because, number one, why is Westbrook on this list? Why is Paul George on this list? Like, Paul George, you didn't show up at all. Why are you even in this? Why are you even in the conversation, bro? And number one, who's trading for you? We just watched the whole team trade their whole everything for you, and you could not get the job done. You couldn't get the job done. And we're not going to blame it on Kawhi. We're not going to do that because he showed up. You didn't, bro. You didn't. This is crazy, man. This is crazy. Like, I don't understand it. Another trade topic that came up for the stretch 4 position was actually Serge Ibaka. That kind of threw me off. I didn't see that one. Now, if he doesn't get re-signed, I would definitely go that route. Plays great defense. He can shoot he got an inside shot, got an outside shot, can play back to the basket, good rebounder. But at the end of the day, you can toss him $17 million on a 1-year deal and be great. You feel me? Just to use his services. But I don't know. Some people are weird. Another free agent we could probably go get as a point guard standard, and this one's gonna throw everybody for a loop. What happens if we actually bring back Langston Galloway? Oh, y'all forgot who Langston Galloway was, didn't y'all? What? My man was the pure epitome of having the craziest story coming into the league and actually showing out. And always, since he's been in this league, put up and show up. He ain't never had to shut up, but he always put up and show up. So what happens if we bring that man back? I don't see a problem in that. Because now he kind of reminds me of having another Damian Dotson, but just on a little better aspect in it because he got more time in the league and he's definitely crafted his game to get to where he needs to be. But then, of course, you still got the whole everybody that's connected with Leon Rose, with the Victor Oladipos and the Donovan Mitchells. But it's just more so, I don't see Donovan Mitchell leaving his team. The only way he's leaving his team is if Rudy Gobert leaves. And shout outs to me, Boston Celtics might go ahead and go get him. Or the Boston Celtics might go ahead and they might get Victor Oladipo and they might trade Gordon Hayward. So, you see how those two trades already do not correspond with us? Let's not think in those ideas. Let's think rational and think smart here. Because on top of that, like I said, the Knicks do not mind taking on undesirable contracts because we have the cap space. We have the legitimacy to do these things and still not break the bank and kill ourselves. So it's mainly, which route do we go? It's so much that we could possibly do. It's not even funny anymore. Like, I just really don't get it anymore. I don't get it. It's just mainly when November 18th hit, that is the start of the new world for the Knicks. That is the start to see if we really are in a win now situation, or are we really going to stick with the process that we stated we were going to stick to. We're going to really see what Leon Rose is about. We're going to see if Tom Thibodeau can be that coach that we've been waiting for. We're going to see by him adding on a whole defensive and player developmental coaching staff if we can get the job done. We're going to see if the Knicks front office with replacing their trainers and replacing their scouts, if all of this was worth it. And besides, everybody's been waiting for it. We've been waiting. It's been too long. It's been too long, man. It's been too long. As a Knicks fan, I can tell you right now, we are tired. The last time we went to the playoffs was with, and I'm glad he's back with us, was with Mike Woodson. And now he's back with us. He's back home. So definitely understand that defense is going to be a major key for the Knicks. It's going to be preached all day, every day. Now, the only reason why I'm bringing this back up again is because of our coach, Tom. Tom loves attacking point guards. You saw what he turned Derrick Rose into. I just wish he didn't run him in the ground. But he definitely is going to need a team that is very young the way he plays his style of basketball. So anybody that's a vet, if you're not in shape, this ain't the team for you because he going to run you in the dirt. Now, number two, this is the only reason why I may say he may not actually try to go get a point guard. He feels Frank Ntilikina is a starter. I don't knock him for that. The whole Knicks organization actually has praise and is actually having somewhat of good ties, as they say, but media will be lying. Good ties with Dennis Smith Jr. Now, what happens if Tom can turn Dennis Smith Jr. into a Derrick Rose type player? They basically play the same when they came into the league. We all know Derrick Rose ain't have no jump shot till now. So why can't he do the same thing for Smith? And that's the key thing that's kind of like throwing me off with this 8th pick. By having Frank and Dennis, it doesn't allow me to understand why we're going to get a point guard. The only thing I can think of, we're probably going to get a 2 guard or we're probably going to get a stretch 4. That's all I can really think. But in the meantime, in between time, man, all we could do is just wait for November 18th to when everything gets real. And I hope y'all ready, man, because we got the 8th pick. I'm going to be tuning in. I'm going to go live on here again, so make sure y'all check in. Make sure y'all definitely subscribe. Make sure y'all go ahead and get ready because Knick'N30 will be back all day, every day. When I say it like that, every Knick game, whether if it's 72, 55, 82 game season, you're going to see my face. You're going to hear from that man in the back, Caviezy on the 1s and 2s.
Yes,
you're going to see all of this plethora in the back. I don't even care if I said the word right or not, but it sounded good when I said it. I know, right? Thank you. Groom the beard, groom the beard, groom the beard. Y'all wish I had this. But at the end of the day, it's Knick'N30. It's your guy, Dope the Phenom. Subscribe. Make sure y'all subscribe. You see it right there? It's kind of cut off. But make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. KevEasy74. I'm going to go ahead and spell it for y'all. It's K-E-V. EZE74 for those who don't spell well. Shout out to his slogan, you heard. Bing. But at the end of the day, that's where all footage will be. Make sure y'all check out Knick'N30. Make sure y'all check out NFC Beast. Make sure y'all check out Steeler for 7. Make sure y'all tune in to Steeler for 7 podcast. Venture Season podcast coming back. It's all media day around here, baby. We came for war, but no matter what, it's Knicks all day, every day. Balance, baby. Oh, yeah. We got a new tape, Balance, coming out. 11-5, baby. Look out for that. Me, Kev Easy, Balance. Like I said, it's your guy, Dope the Phenom, a.k.a. Trippy OG. You know the vibes. Knick'N30. It's been real. You heard the predictions. You heard the trade topics. You heard the stories. Let's go ahead and get into it. I'll see you next Sunday, people. Nigga, I killed that. Nigga Kev was like, I'm actually entertained. And only had 2 people pop up.
See, that don't matter because it's going on YouTube. It only matters for conversation purposes while you're doing this shit. But next time, like, I'm surprised niggas even hopped in, but
yeah, that threw me off guard.
Next time it'll be a little bit more. Yeah.